Hello everyone, welcome to the Advancement Centre and welcome to the world of magic and miracles, where once again we have a little bit of a play around with all the things that young children do naturally. They allow their body to tingle, and when you talk about sparkles, they shake their hands and they can feel their own electricity, and they can feel themselves getting light-hearted, jovial, and they bounce around all over the place and have a great deal of fun. The world we've entered is exactly that. And as we talk about it, you can feel it fire up. You can feel the world start to support all the energy flow that you are delivering to everybody else. It's not necessarily through your body, it's around you, but it's within your reach, even if it's 1,000,000 miles away. And you're able to direct good feelings to everybody, no matter what you have in mind. And a young child doesn't think about who or what is happening. They just have fun and they spray beautiful energy everywhere. If a stranger walks past, they get a big smile as well. And so as we move further into the realms of the world of magic and miracles, you can see why I call it an industry. It's there all the time. You can work on it any time, under any circumstances. And you don't need a project. You can just decide to turn on your happy switch and walk around. You can whistle, you can sing, you can do nothing. But the great thing is, you can feel the activity because it's in a different world to the one you were in just before you decided to switch on your happy switch. You can do any of 1,000,000 things. You can look at a flower and get a sparkle from it. And then smile and you're in a whole new world again. You'll see the randomness after a while of every part of your world popping in and out better each time because you can see it. But you don't have to see it with your physical eyes. The whole atmosphere is different. Just like the atmosphere of a child when they start to laugh. You can't stop yourself. And you're not dragged into anything, you're just projected upon by such joy, and you don't know where it's coming from. It's extremely powerful. But have you ever wondered how powerful it is from you? It's enormous. Those children come in with their own life, but you're the one that works feverishly to prepare a space for them. And in many ways, you prepare a space for eternity. So you're not just looking at somewhere for them to sleep today, or what will happen when they grow up. You're looking into the future. You're looking into the depth of the whole universe. And you're making sure everything matches that young child, or matches their protocol. And it's a protocol that's transmitted to you continuously. It's like in my book, Your Personal Supercomputer. I described how a young boy watched his father build a bike for him for his birthday. And all the things that he needed, he didn't say much about, but they all came. He didn't know how to build a bike, but he sure knew how to bring it into the world. And everybody, somehow, knew exactly what he needed. Even the brand of handle grips, even the beautiful seat and the brakes that went on the bike when he first got it, they arrived in a parcel. There are many, many things that you can transmit, and you don't have to know how it's put together. You know how to bring things into the world. You don't have to build them. You know how to make things appear, and they'll appear because everybody gets a signal, and every system gets a signal. Everything known in the world and beyond gets a signal. And it all starts to turn up in the correct manner, in a way that's probably much better than you'd imagined. And you still didn't need to know how. So when we walk into this world of magic and miracles, there's no understanding needed. There's no training needed. It's simply the same as you did when you were a child. And if you ask yourself, what did I do when I was a child? You'll say, I don't know. And that's the exact answer you should give yourself. You don't need to know. You just do it. Because you're the owner of that magic. You're the only one who knows how it works. So why do you have to explain it to yourself? You don't explain to yourself how to walk. You walk. You've achieved the ability. As soon as someone opened that little part of your folder that says you can walk, you start to walk. And nobody stands there and starts to make your legs work, or your balance work, or your direction. You gradually get it. And you get it fairly quickly. So remember, everything in the world of magic and miracles is just the same as in growing up in the physical world, only it's faster. It's immediate. So you don't have to wait or wonder if it's happening. In an instant, it's done, and there it is. And the fact that you might not recognize it because it's in a different package or coming from a different direction is the thrill of the whole exercise. Just like a child at Christmas. They know they've got presents, but they're not really sure where they are. And you may have even hidden them or given them a little trial to go and find them and get little gifts on the way. Many of the things in the world of magic and miracles take on a different form. And then there's all these little gifts come to you to lead you to where you're supposed to be, or to where the major gift is waiting. And you might say, well, I don't like all that mystery. You will. You'll love it. Just like a little bit of mischief when you're in the right mood is so uplifting and amusing. Just like tickling a child for a little bit and then running away so that they chase you. It's something out of nowhere that changes the format of everything in your world. So this world that we're talking about cannot take on a specific form. It's changing all the time, and it's always exciting and always crazy, illogical, and outside all the rules. The biggest thing is that there's more. There's more abilities, and more things that you can do with what you might call an energy field. It's much more than that, but that's the best thing we've got to talk about. You can send your energy field out to anywhere to interact with anything. You can decide that a tree or a plant needs nourishment, and you can send it to that tree or plant, and it will love you for it. And whether it responds exactly the way you think it should or it doesn't has nothing to do with it. You know that's your capability. And you know that you can send something to everybody that is much more than they can gather for themselves. In a fraction of a second, you can elevate someone's life by just a wave, a sudden look, a smile. Nothing overdone, but so powerful it'll blow them over. And in fact, you might find as you're getting used to all this, it does take a physical form. That sudden movement of energy will knock someone backwards. Just like a child can when they flash that sudden burst of beauty at you, you tend to fall backwards because it's amazing and overwhelming. Or when you hear someone's voice for the first time that sounds like an angel, the power of it is enormous and it physically moves your body. And that can happen even if you're watching TV. So the medium of what you have control of travels through, in and around everything and disturbs nothing. And it is not relative to time, yet you can make it relative to time if you wish. It's like that hidden thing within you that will wake you up at a specific time if you want it to. You can allocate whatever you want to the fields that flow around you. And they will tell you whatever you want, whenever you want. But at the same time, remember, it's magic. And they don't specifically stick to any rules. So you can be fooled by all sorts of things, but it'll be humorous. It won't be destructive, and it'll probably work out much better than what you expected. How many times have you had an appointment at a certain time and all sorts of things got in the way and you arrived a little bit late and the person said, "Oh, I'm glad you were a bit late. I didn't have time to see you then anyway." It happens over and over again. Or you're not able to get to a place on time. So you do the best you can, and all of a sudden you look at your watch and you've got there at the right time, which was impossible. You might have had to drive an hour and you got there in 33 minutes. Almost impossible, but happens every day. So the almost impossible is proof that we have control over things, but not very well from where we're sitting right now. So as we step forward into that magic, into the playing field where the music is on and it's your turn to play, then you've got control of everything. So it's just a matter of stepping forward and you'll feel the energy rise. Like you're stepping out on the major stage. And the applause go up and you're the center. And in a fraction of a second, you can change the world. And you'll start to do it as soon as you step forward. And it's not something you have to do. Stepping forward is not taking a step or making a decision. It's actually being like a child and not caring. A child will rush up and hug you without trying to figure out whether you'd like them or not. There are no conditions in the world of magic and miracles. And anything you do with your brain probably won't work. It's like telling a fairy that you want it to follow you, it probably won't work. The fairy will lead the way because they know where you're going anyway. You've already told them. And there are no secrets, but there's lots of mischief. So when you walk out to your garden and you have a look at the things that are growing at the moment, they're beautiful and they're always different. And out of nowhere, you'll find a fruit or a flower that you never saw before. Don't be surprised if it wasn't there. Don't be surprised if the whole blossoming process happens overnight. If you've ever sat in front of a flower that's just been picked and you allow your energy to go to it, you watch it will open up in front of you. And people call it all sorts of things, but it will do it every time. On the interaction of your fields. At that time, the plant is in total awe of you sitting in front of it. It will smile at you. It will probably close again and open again the next day. Little but substantial things. These things you can't even get a machine that will do it. Only people. All technology is lost in our midst. So the more we walk in the field that brings a world that's totally different to the one that's being presented to us, the less we have to even move. We don't even need to have things to do. Because in a fraction of a second, you can realize that, wow, I'm following my spirit all of a sudden. And I don't know what caused me to do it. But you'll get little nudges. And you'll start to follow your spirit and you'll smile at yourself and you'll wonder what you're doing. Or you'll jump up and make a cup of tea for no real reason. These are the things that start to show you how there are interactions that are outside of the senses that we register. And they're much more extensive. And right now that you can hear an aeroplane over the top, I can feel it. And I can feel the urgency and the beauty and the excellence and the way the noise actually brings harmony at this moment instead of disturbance. Because that's the world that I'm used to. That's the world that nurtures every part of me every day. And while ever I can keep moving forward, I can reflect what's happening to me without saying too many words. And in reflecting and transmitting, I'm giving everybody a chance to do the same themselves. Not to follow me, but be like the fairy. Lead the way. As soon as you know it's possible, it's like a child. You say, there's ice cream in that shop. They're at the shop before you can get there. They're not going to follow you there. And nobody should expect anybody to follow them to anywhere. But if you let them know, they'll meet you there before you expected. Or they'll be in and out eating their ice cream with one in their hand for you. This is the way the gifts work in the world of the Creator. And they're reflected in front of us every day in different ways and in different forms. But they are reflected. And the world of magic and miracles is here on Earth, as well as everywhere else in the universe. Fortunately, we have a better chance of demonstrating the beauty of magic and miracles in a physical world at exactly the same time as the world is going on through its own pre-programmed performance. But like everything else, there are worlds within worlds. And if you look at the growth of a tree in the earth is nurturing it, and at the same time it might be burning trees on the other side of the country. There is a cycle, there's a movement. You will be led to the perfect spot for you in the world. And it's not physical. It feels physical. You know you're there. You know everybody else is there, but it's your world. And so the greatest parts of the physical world that you can travel to are available to you no matter where you are. And this is the beauty of the mystery of life. It appears for everyone, everywhere, at any time, in the best possible way. And you never have to sit back and say, I want. You just step ahead and walk into it. It's like standing outside a hotel and saying, I'd really like to go in there, but I'm not dressed properly. If you want to go in there, you'll find somehow you'll turn up with the right dress. And you won't know what circumstance brought that on, but it will happen. And it might not be exactly that hotel, it might be another one. And it may be a wedding, or it may be a party, or just an invitation. Or you may just walk in. There's nothing to stop anything in this world of magic and miracles. The biggest thing is to step into it and celebrate it. Everything that happens, celebrate so that it's there. It's a positive part of your world, and it will stay. Just like remembering a joke. Someone says, do you remember the joke about the horse with the sore leg? And you go, oh yeah, I've got that. And you remember the whole thing and you live it because you celebrated with laughter. And it stores itself, not in your head, in your field. And it can be thousands of miles away. You have capability of storing many, many worlds in your field. And because they're in your field, they're accessible. And we're going to actually access many of these things. As I talk behind the scenes and behind the words, there's much more happening in each individual person. Because I'm not pressing buttons, I'm saying, remember the one about this? Do you remember the one about that? And all your incidents jump up. All your life comes alive. Because it's part of that world of magic and miracles. And the little interactions with people that were positive start to come back. Start to actually fill your life and overshadow what you used to call the nasties, or things that didn't suit you. But in fact, all those things that didn't suit you didn't suit the world you were in. Nothing to do with you. In the world of magic and miracles, everything converts into your world. And it belongs to you, and it won't hurt anybody. And the greater the feeling of elation, the greater your involvement with your Creator. As a friend, as a deeper and honourable relationship, as a love that is beyond all love. But the greatest thing is the balance, the harmony, and the mutual respect that's absolutely overwhelming. To feel that mutual respect from your Creator is more than anybody could ever wish. And all we do is offer it to one another every day. We've got the facilities now to start to use the things that we've seen in ourselves and children right through our life. But the advantage is we now have the ability to do that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and beyond that. Beyond infinity. So all the distractions of the world, of your life, of your past lives, of your forward lives, are totally cancelled as soon as you step in the field classed as the world of your Creator. It's like you invited yourself into the big house, and all of a sudden, you weren't only welcome, you were treated better than the owner. So the gift that you give to one another is enhanced every day by you stepping forward into the world of a Creator, in the world of magic and miracles, with lots of sparkles and mischief and stupidity and celebration. So from here on, we're going further and further and explaining less and less, because you all have the knowing. You all remember the joke about so-and-so. You all remember the beautiful things when I talk about the sparkles, all the gifts you have for the world. And beyond all, you know the feeling of respect and great honor that comes from your Creator. So now, I'd like to pass on to you all that same respect and wish you and transmit to you a perfect life, perfect health, and a really magic future. Thank you.